Hey, I'm Duke on Twitch. If you want to support the channel and greensunzenith.com, you can find my Patreon, merch store, and singles store where you can buy singles through TCG Player or Card Hoarder in the video description. If you want to get in contact, you can also find all that info in the description below for things like donation deck lists or just wanting to reach out. Alright, let's get right into it.
Hey team, welcome back to Duke on Twitch. Back today with a pretty sweet list. This is an Abzan Depths list that the third horseman took to a Legacy Challenge first place finish, which is really impressive for a part of the archetype that hasn't been explored too much. A lot of this deck obviously originated as a Nihilist with cards like Tomic and Giver of Runes in the Renin 6 era, moved to green-white and then picked up red again, especially once Minsc & Boo was printed. But there hasn't been too many results or testing with the Abzan shell, which is really cool to see. And here we have a list that is really, honestly, pretty straightforward. The big card here is Orcish Bowmasters, which is obviously a card taking the format by storm. And we also have Grist in the main deck as a Green Sun Zenith target and a way to interact with opposing creatures. In the board, we have Thoughtseize, obviously quite good against, still I think it's quite good against combo. Some of the more value-orientated decks like Death and Taxes, I don't mind it, any sort of Stoneblade list. And then also just a an Assassin's Trophy in the sideboard. So very cool to see that. Mining Man, a huge thank you for the sub. Appreciate you very much. 21 months is fantastic. But yeah, obviously it's always tough because I feel like red with Minsc & Boo does give you something to add to the main strategy of the deck game one, which is hopefully winning with the 2020. Whereas Orcish Bowmasters and Grist are more ways to interact and not lose the game. So there's definitely two takes on it. You could be a player who says, hey, game one, I'm going to play Naya Devs because game one, I want to have everything going for the combo. I want to make sure that if I'm drawing something like Minsc & Boo, I could potentially, fling a massive knight or a 2020 and it's going to win me the game. But you could also be in the wheelhouse of, hey, I'm going to play Abzan because I think Orcish Bowmasters and Grist are really well positioned and they give the deck other ways to interact with other decks that it stops me from losing the game, but doesn't pull me too far away from the main strategy of the deck. So I think that the deck does have flex spots. That's pretty easy. I think even here, if we wanted to break them up, I would say that probably the main flex in the deck is Grist and the 3 Bowmasters, the fourth crop, the 3 libraries somewhat. I would say 1 or 2 libraries is pretty stock, even with Bowmasters. And then probably the extra Mox Diamond. So I would say there's kind of 7 slots within the deck. I guess like Endurance could be there because we aren't actually playing Ramanap. So I would say within the deck, as sort of a green-white shell, you do have 8 spots to kind of play around with. So this could be Minsc & Boos for the red sources or the red mana, the reasons why you slash red. Here we obviously have the Bowmasters, which I know a lot of people have been turned away from Silver Library since the printing of Orcish Bowmasters, but it's really nice to be a library deck that also has Bowmaster because it just answers opposing Bowmasters, which is great because you can also do it in upkeep before you want to use your library to take out a Bowmaster and not take that extra damage. So I really like that. And yeah, I really like four Thoughtseize as well. Really good to see. Hey Sahar, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see how this goes. A big congratulations to the player that won with it. Let me quickly find that while we find a game. Constructed, Abzan Depths. Gameplay. We'll get there. The Hungry Man. Jean Hunger. So Jean, a big congratulations on the challenge win. Really It's been a long day. Really impressive to take down a challenge, especially in a deck without the three big cards being Ancient Tomb, Brainstorm, and the Ring, I guess? I saw a post the other day about someone saying that the Ring, that Legacy has kind of gone from like being the Brainstorm deck, being the Brainstorm deck that is, I guess, sorry. The Brainstorm deck, the deck that is quicker than Brainstorm decks, or the deck that makes victims out of Brainstorm decks. And I do somewhat agree. I think Ancient Tomb decks are very well positioned. Brainstorm decks are as powerful as ever. And there was one more card, and I can't believe I cannot remember what it was. But I'll find it. It? It's gone. It's gone. Ancient Tomb is a very powerful card. Bow Show. Okay. We are on the draw. So a Mox Diamond start with like a library would be perfect. Obviously you can say that in a lot of situations, but it's really where I want to be. This is a little bit of an awkward hand because we do have Green Sun Zenith for Dried Arbor, but we don't have white mana for a Knight. We also don't have, I guess we do have Reclaimer to work towards, but this is a hand that could potentially be a bit of a trap. We do have something like Green Suns for Dried Arbor, untap, Green Suns for Reclaimer, play Bog, tapped at worst, potentially hold up Bowmasters. I think there's a better 6 here. I think this hand just has a little bit, it can really misfire. So I'm pretty happy to mulligan this. Much better. It is a turn 1 Reclaimer and also Zenith. So I'm going to keep this and put back the Sylvan Safekeeper. Not really a card I want early on, especially when we're already tight on mana. I would actually love to see a land off the top, if I'm being honest. Snow-covered plains. Oh, okay. So we are going to be up against Cephalid Breakfast. So unfortunately, there isn't too much to do here. I will drop the Caracas. I'd much rather have the stage. Seeing that they led on the Nomads, I feel like they just have a turn 2 play here. Hey, Third Horseman, very cool to see you in chat. Big shout out to, oh, I am going to murder this name. Dean Frundebaum? Dean Frundebaum? Big love to Dennis. There we go. I love that. So a few things here. I could act like we have a Sword of Plowshares and just deploy a Reclaimer. But I feel like if we want to win this game, we have to go for Reclaimer first. And then Green Suns for Dried Arbor. This allows us next turn to potentially play a 2-drop off the top and also hold up Reclaimer for Bojuka Bog. But really tough. Yeah, I feel like this is just going to be, yeah. There's no other real reason to start on just the Nomads. But pretty happy to look at the build. Dennis is basically German Dukes in their commitment to depths. Very cool to see. So they are playing Stoneforges. Pretty relevant. But otherwise looking like a pretty normal... Orum's Chant is always a hard one to get through. They do name Endurance. Although sadly Endurance in this matchup doesn't do a whole lot. Because if you... It's really only if they screw up. You can Endurance them in response to Dread Return targeting the creature you want. But if you Endurance them in another position, they can just keep comboing off, put the cards that you put back into their deck, back into their graveyard, and go from there. I think this is also just a great showing of sometimes you have to take matchups like this just on the chin, where you obviously aren't a Force of Will deck. We could have had swords, but we didn't, so that's just life. Hey Code, big thank you for the resub. Hope you're doing well. Look, there's definitely no point in not taking a photo here, and then obviously conceding. The big question I've been having recently with Cephalid is if it's even worth having the endurances, or if you just want to play a kind of different plan. I actually don't mind Teeg, or at least trying out Teeg, because it does stop Dread Return, and it also stops things like Force of Will, if you want to have that sort of protection. I don't mind the Thoughtseizers, especially with this being a Stoneforge Mystic build, just being able to take those. One fun fact with Tower of the Magistrate is you can target any creature. So you can target an opposing Cephalid Illusionist when your opponent goes to equip Shuko, so that they can't keep equipping it because you can't target the Cephalid. So it will mill 3, but it does stop your opponent from being able to combo off, which is quite cool. And I do think this card is relevant in this matchup because Kaldra can be an issue and it can really force the clock this deck has. So pretty happy to bring in the tower. What isn't relevant? I'm not a big fan of really having any endurances. Especially we saw in game 1 that our opponent did respect it and kind of know how to play around it by using Cabal Therapy as soon as possible. I don't mind the trophy either. It just has a few different targets we can hit. I don't think the forces are worth it. I don't mind the Liberator, but I don't... Oh, did we see... I'm lucky we took this. So one key thing here is that they're actually playing Urza Saga, which is pretty normal, but that potentially puts me on wanting to have Force. I do like the Bowmasters because they both hit the combo and they also interact with creatures. The libraries are really strong because they're not going to go after our mana too hard, and we have so many ways to play around Kaldra. I don't mind dropping the Caracas for the tower. The Safekeeper is, I think, fine. Crops, I don't mind going down on, and libraries, and in that case, Mox. I still like the Grist. I kind of like Thoughtseize as my Safekeeper. So if we brought in a Force, do we need it though? We do have the Wastelands, so I don't think I'm there. I think I like the Outland Liberator. And then it might just be a small cut. Always tough in knowing the exact numbers for this. And I don't mind this. Obviously, again, just one of those hands, but we do have, you know, turn 1 Reclaimer, turn 2 Wasteland, hold up Reclaimer Flagstones, and then build that mana that way. Also, double Reclaimer plays around some sort of removal on the first one. Hey, Northern Angels, welcome. Okay. We kind of get to reset here. If we draw a land, I'm pretty happy as well. Just because we are going to wasteland here. And then replay another Reclaimer. Honestly, if they swords again, I'm pretty happy just to Green Suns for another one. Prismatic Ending, it's fine. Nice. Okay. Making sure these lands are hitting is also pretty key. But we have had 2 Reclaimers that had 2 removal spells. We have a 3rd Reclaimer. The question is, do they have a 3rd removal spell? Because they obviously really care about these Reclaimers early on. Honestly, if they get rid of this Reclaimer, I think if we don't draw a white source, I'm going to play Yavin Pass and copy their snow-covered plains to get a white source. They chose no shuffle. They have the Nomad. Oh, that's a huge draw. Because now we do get to swords the Nomad, thankfully. Hey Ben, welcome. The question is, do I want to do it now? I kind of feel like I do want to just do it now before they get to untap and potentially do something. I guess we do also have our Bajuka Bog open here, so that would have to also remove the Reclaimer to combo off, which is good for us. Not too relevant against a non-bolt deck, but pitching this forest will mean that we do turn on the Reclaimer as the 3/4. They also can't really Prismatic Ending the Reclaimer because we can get Sajiri Step, so see what happens here. Even if they try to like Teferi bounce, it's quite good for us here. They might even Teferi bounce the Mox Diamond. Interesting. Maybe they know about the Flagstones plan and want to keep us off some amount of like mana manipulation. Go pro blue. Happy to kill the Teferi. And then I think we are just playing out what we have in hand. This could be a little bit awkward if our opponent does have a Saga. Being able to take that is quite nice. But obviously if they untap and just combo, that's really tough. The only other thought there was instead of getting Sajiri Step, getting Dryad Arbor, which still deals with the Teferi, but it would still mean the Elvish Reclaimer has summoning sickness, and therefore Bojuka Bog still wouldn't be an option if they did try to combo off here. Hey PJ, thanks for the follow. Hope you're well. That's why Cephalid's a little bit scary, because it's just like, it does take some setup, but it's very easy for them just to combo off, just 1-2 punch. Especially when we have no cards in hand. All our cards are on the table right now. But interestingly enough, a land off the top would give us Thespian Stage plus 4 mana, which is enough for 2 to go into Reclaimer to find Dark Depths, and then 2 to combo off. They chose to shuffle, so they're obviously looking for removal. They also missed their land drop, which is pretty huge. So a lot of live draws here. Mox Diamond, the only one that isn't great. Thoughtseize is not too bad. I do like Thoughtseizing here over anything else. All right, so what do we care about? We don't care about the Cabal Therapy. We don't care about the Shuko because we have the Outland Liberator. We somewhat care about the Illusionist. But honestly, if our plan is just to attack with Liberator and hold up Reclaimer, they can't really Teferi, and they can't combo off. Honestly, I think it's take the Illusionist, just because it is one piece of the combo. The Teferi does stop us from attacking, but I'm not too unhappy about that. I actually meant to... I even just talked through taking the piece of the combo. Apologies, that's on me. But honestly, we do have a pretty nice board here, knowing what their hand is. So I should also say that they do have the combo because they have Shuko and Cephalid Illusionist. They also have the Cabal Therapy in hand, which in game 1 we did only see one copy of it, which they did cast. Okay, so they play the Illusionist. Honestly, here I'm pretty happy just to get Depths. And now it's a case of you combo off, and we just bog you, or we kind of combo off. Cabal. Just hear that graveyard? Okay. So we know about Shuko as the last card. They have one unknown as well. I think here we're okay with just allowing them to combo off. I could take out the Shuko here, but then if they have an Illusionist, that's actually interesting, because if we have... Honestly, I think we can just allow them to... I guess if they have Thassa in hand... I guess if they have a a Nomad's in hand as well. I think in that case we do want to hit this. Allow them to have the Narcomoeba. That is a little sus. All I'm going to do here is turn this Plains potentially into a Yav, because that allows me to now tap the Depths for mana. So if we draw a land for turn, we have the combo and also Reclaim open. Okay, that's a little bit awkward. I guess we don't want to show that we have the Bog. So I think here we just pass. And then we have Depths into the last Sajiri step to give it pro blue to get through the Narcomoeba. Brainstorm's fine. Now it's really awkward because if they do have the Oracle, we actually can't stop it because we don't have Bog in the deck. Yikes. Again, just a, something you have to accept, not playing a Brainstorm deck, or ways to manipulate the top of your library. Funnily enough, if we played the library last turn, we could have stopped us from drawing the Bog. So I guess if they find a sword, it's not the worst. If they find swords, we just get to play the library. They've already used one sword. Ooh, we untap? That's huge. Surely if they had Swords to Plowshares, they would have used it just then. They wouldn't have allowed us to untap into crop rotation. So I think here they think they have a turn. Okay, good. We called their bluff. But a really interesting turn there. I think that's a pretty easy read, that allowing us to untap means they think they potentially have Narcomoeba to block, and then, maybe Teferi Bounce or Prismatic ending the token in their next turn, or combo off. Do we want to change anything based on what we saw? It's always an interesting one. Maybe I've overboard it a little bit. Or at least maybe I'm a little bit confused on how to board, potentially. Because Thoughtseize is obviously great. Against a combo deck, against a deck with Stoneforge Mystic, but there is thought that we don't care about Stoneforge because we have the Tower of the Magistrate. But it's weird not to bring in Thoughtseize, right? It's just kind of like, as you think about the matchup, you think about, wanting to have access to know what to do. Do we tap Reclaimer? Do we draw with Reclaimer? Do we pass with Reclaimer open? I think Grist is pretty solid, especially even just like taking out a Teferi potentially. Again, a little bit awkward with the ability to put Bog into the bin if we don't know what's on top. I don't mind dropping a crop against a force deck, probably playing some amount of days. There's 1 day, there's 2 days. Okay. Oh, there's 3 days. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I don't think we need the Force of Vigor to attack the Shuko. I think we have the Tower for that, which is nice. And then also the Bowmasters and Swords, which we haven't really seen yet. We don't have Safekeeper, that's fine. Honestly, I think 2 Thoughtseize on the draw is fine. Also, like that hand wasn't the greatest. We only had green mana, and did need those reclaimers to survive to get us there, but shows some resilience for the deck, which is really nice. Right. This is a pretty easy mulligan. We can't cast our cards. It's very top heavy, no early removal or interaction. Okay. I actually like this hand. We can drop the... Ooh, okay. So we want to get probably a Bayou off the Windswept Heath to cast the Thoughtseize and potentially the Crop down the line. I think here it's just the second Wasteland we drop because potentially we need the step for white mana. Because we probably just want to crop into Dark Depths. Hey Mangork, welcome. It's between the second Wasteland and Sajiri step. Potentially the second Wasteland. Knowing how they went for basics pretty aggressively as well. Having Wasteland for Saga is nice. Having, you know, Thoughtseize for other things. Okay. I think these days, a Ponder start from any deck that plays Ponder, especially with threats or creature-based combo, is the happiest thing I could see. Also, pretty cool to see this. In July, coming up, we have a co-stream with Hello Newton on July 29th. That's Pacific time. It'll be Sunday the 30th at lunchtime for me in Australia. And then we have Connor Falls coming back for a 4-color Loam stream on the 22nd, which is pretty sweet. So that's going to be on the 23rd for me in Australia in the morning, but yeah, the 22nd afternoon. So looking forward to those. The Ponder was not a shuffle. Okay, another stage isn't great. But let's go for Bayou and see what our opponent is working with. Okay. This is a tough one because Auram's Chant is next to impossible for us to interact with. It means the crop rotation for Bajuka Bog is turned off. The step through is also quite nice because I believe either creature is a wizard. Maybe not, because I don't think you can Plague Engineer both. They kept with the... I think we take the Aurams here and allow them to have the Brainstorm with fetches, just because of how well Aurams plays against our plan to interact with their combo. Hey, thanks, Sahar. That's very cool to hear. Not cool to hear that Dennis can't make it, but very cool to hear that he's interested in how the league goes. Alright. Oh, wow, they're just fetching straight away. No Brainstorm. Stoneforge, okay. This isn't too bad either because we do have the crop for Caldra. Or crop for Tower. So I think here we'll just play out the stage and crop that away by floating a mana. Hey Parker, thanks for the follow. Hope you're doing well and enjoying the stream. There's Caldra. Hey Zekov, thank you for the follow. Hope you're doing well as well. Alright. So we want to float the mana off of this as well because we do want to be able to activate the tower. Opponent thinking if they want to fetch and Brainstorm potentially. No. Tower of the Magistrate. This is always a fun one. Target creature gains protection from artifacts. I'll target your germ, which will fall off the Caldra and kind of reset, which is really nice. Wonder. Okay. They chose to shuffle with the Ponder, which is good for us. They didn't find anything they really wanted. Step isn't really what we are after either, but I feel like we... probably just want to play Stage, and at worst, copy their Snow-Covered. It just would be nice to have a white mana open. There goes the Brainstorm. To be fair, the Caldra was quite good because it also made us have to kind of use the crop rotation. Potentially, I could have been less aggressive with it and taken, say, another 2 hits. It's tough because the Stoneforge also attacks, so 17 is 3 turns. So it would have been 2 additional turns. We would have been dead. Yeah, potentially could have done that as well, and allowed them to gain a little bit of life. The reason that I liked using the tower was that it allows us to keep the swords for the actual combo. But obviously, crop in this matchup does have some amount of value on it, being both interaction for the combo, interaction for Caldra. They're playing this out, which means... oh. Thought they might have it there. Not really what I'm looking for. I assume this is just going to be wizard cycling. So they get Cephalid, so I think here I'm happy just to swords the nomads. So the combo is with Nomads and Core. For 0 mana, you can target a creature. And Cephalid Illusionist is whenever it becomes the target of a spell or ability, you mill 3 cards. So pretty much you mill yourself out. Along the way, you find Narcomoebas, which come into play because they went from your library to the graveyard. And then you use Dread Return to get Thassa's Oracle back. Or if you've drawn Thassa's Oracle, you can just Cephalid yourself to get 0 cards in the library and then play Oracle to win. I didn't play a land drop because I played the Arbor. 2/4, 2/4. Oh, good Ram. Okay. I could take them off the Tundra, but that doesn't do a whole lot. I think I'd rather hold the Wasteland for a Saga. This also gives me a second white source, which is pretty relevant in case we draw Knight of the Reliquary. We can play Knight and also hold up Swords to Plowshares. They have one card left. So I could Swords the Cephalid here, which would make them mill 3, but it would take them off one piece of the combo. I could also hold up the ability to copy Dryad Arbor, and then if they attack with the Stoneforge Mystic, we can give Pro Blue with this step and kill the Teferi. But I think I do just want to stay with my kind of game plan of just keeping them off the combo. Which will mill 3 cards, so that'll be interesting to see what they mill. There goes a Saga, which is pretty good for us. And there it goes. So they probably just tick down on the Arbor here, draw a card. And don't really have to worry about. Ooh, interesting. They're going to replay the Stoneforge, even though there's a tower in play. Okay. I wonder what they get here. If it's just a Shuko? Okay. They do still find the equipment. Maybe it's just a case of getting it out of the deck. Unfortunately, no great attacks here. I don't want to play these out. I don't mind playing the Wasteland this turn. One thing we do have is stage copy Saga and then Wasteland the Saga. This is fine. Opponent probably plays back black just to be able to hardcast Cabal Therapy, which is a great way to get around things like Endurance, and also allows you to Cabal Therapy your own Thassa's Oracle to the bin and then get it back with Dread Return if you want to go that route. I wonder if they name Endurance. I think they'll name Endurance, but with Teferi in play, I would have cast it last turn. They named Fairy Macabre, okay. Just to see if they can get around the Teferi. Hey Dan, hope you're doing well. Hope the family's well. So they play the Shuko, that's fine. They have one card left. Hey friends, very cool. Yeah, Junk Depths won, I think the Sunday challenge, which is pretty sweet to see. I wonder if they attack with both creatures or keep one back. Yes, okay, this is actually great for us because what we can do is copy the Dryad Arbor to attack the Teferi for 2. So here I'm actually happy just to... I guess I'm happy to take the 2 because if they have Cephalid, they can do that in the second main. I don't know their last card. This could have been like a bait to tower first. All right. So take this off. And then copy this. Okay. Nice. Oof. So now we attack the Teferi for 2. Nice. Off the table. Library. Three mana. Another Teferi? These have been really cool games, by the way. It's always nice to have like a pretty grindy game against Cephalid as well. Hey friends, thanks for the follow. Where are you from? And how long are you visiting Australia for? But yeah, Australia has a pretty good Eternal scene. Slowly dying off, but only just, which is quite nice. Land, still 1 card. I wonder if they'll ever give up that card, or if they'll just keep 1 card in hand as an unknown. Ooh. Oh, they're going to hard cast an Archimedes. Okay, so now they can't attack with the Stoneforge, because then we could give pro blue and get through and hit the Teferi to kill it, which is kind of cool. It just lives in Port Fairy. Nice, that's cool. Nice. What Maverick tech do you have? What colors? When did you start playing it? I need to know everything about it. You're near Liverpool in the UK? That's cool. The UK, especially London, has a really good Legacy scene. Especially like the monthly, I think it's a proxy league, which is pretty sweet. Ooh, I didn't see this. This is a pretty cool play. So you get to get rid of the Oracle to Cabal Therapy me to take out the Sylvan Library. And also see the Sajiri step so they know they can't really attack here. That's also pretty big brain. The only thing I would have done differently is hold the Narcomoeba in hand and attack first with the Shoe Code attached, because it's a free 2 damage pretty much. But I guess now that you see the step, you don't want to get through that. Okay. I think we're happy to use this. This is a flyer, so I think in this case I'm happy to Swords the Narcomoeba, give this Dried Arbor pro white, and then attack through to kill Teferi. This way we hold back the one that's a copy. Pro white. Nice. The deck doesn't typically play Mystic Sanctuary, no. Another Stoneforge. What can this one find? 2, 4, 6. They're also only 1 away. Another Shuko, okay. From equipping complete. They floated blue mana. Interesting. Honestly, we've done pretty well for a game so far where we haven't drawn a creature. COVID to play Sanctuary? Okay, very cool. Come on, Green Suns. This is the turn for Green Suns. No. Probably still not worth playing that either. Elo, don't you say it. 2-1. That's all I've got to say. I am happy, though, to see England take down a session. Because it does make it more competitive. And I don't think it's you know... I think it's very close to being in Australia's hands, but by no means is this, you know, definitely Australia's Ashes. It would be sensational. I think Ben Stokes is really, really impressed. Ooh. Let's see how they order blockers. And I guess that doesn't matter. Actually, what happened... Apologies. Woof. What happens if they put the Dry Double that's a stage first and then we turn it into another land? Oh, I can also get a second copy of Tower. That's kind of cool. Okay. Honestly, I don't mind that. This isn't legendary, no. 2 copies of Tower keeps 2 damage off, which is pretty great. Ah! Oh my gosh. We'll get there. We'll get there. It's gonna happen. Okay. This is fine because in response to them targeting, we can actually give it pro, so it can't be targeted again. But it does put... They do also have the Oracle there, so if they hit a Dread Return... Okay. No Dread Return, thankfully. But this is getting a little bit out of hand. Really need to find something here. Even a crop rotation for Dark Depths would be cool. It would also allow us to hold up crop rotation for Bujikabog. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is fine. These things happen. We're all good. We are in a dominant position. We're in a dominant position, as they say. Teferi's fine. I wonder if they even bounce anything or just tick up. That was actually incorrect, because now they can just put the Shuko on another one. They might actually just have it anyway. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, they just have the win anyway. Yeah, we are dead. Tough. Ah, the Cauldron. Yep. Oof. There we go. Okay. Alright, not the greatest, but we are 1 and a loss. Alright, Carl. A 1-lander with a Mox and 3 crops? No, thank you. Okay. Happy to keep this. This is actually pretty interesting. I do like the turn 1 library, so I definitely want that. I don't mind the planes either, just to have like all colors. And then it's probably just the depths because we have so many ways to find both pieces. If this is another Cephalid deck, we're going to get revenge. This also makes me want to Wasteland and then Mox into Reclaimer. Because I would love for the Reclaimer to also take a Prismatic Ending from their hand if they are on Prismatic Ending. They also chose to shuffle, which is huge. And Flagstones is a big draw as well, because that's great with Reclaimer. And now they're actually just 6ing. Do we get that Prismatic? Oh, we do get the Prismatic. But is it on the Mox or the Reclaimer? Okay. Pretty great draw. Ah, Punishing Waterfalls. I totally forgot that. Sorry, I totally forgot that targeting them mills them as well. Let's be honest, we're just paying for all of this. Pretty happy to take them off the Saga here. Hey KC, welcome. Yeah, these are the really nice starts. Oh, is this going to be a missed land drop? I think it is. This is also the power of libraries, that it allows you to stop drawing the other libraries. Honestly, at this stage, I don't need the extra forest, and I can also... Actually, let's put the library on top. I can go to 7. And then put this on top. And then we get to mill it, which is really nice. I kind of hope this is a Stoneforge, because we have so many ways to deal with it. Another staff. Okay. Never knew you could undo a library. Trust me, there are some things on Modo you can and can't do, and thankfully this is one of them. We're attacking the Grist. That is more than fine. Oh, okay. That's pretty nice. We probably want to play Knight here and then just hold up Bowmaster. So I don't mind... I probably don't need the additional sword. Put on top, put on top. Attack for 1. You can undo Portent, but not Ponder. That is the most MTGO thing I've ever heard. I'm gonna tap like this because I think it gives the least away. And then we'll tick up the Grist. And then really hope for that Brainstorm from our opponent. Or if they draw with staffs. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You can draw. You can draw. This is like a machine gun now, right? Pew. 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 Damn. This is nearly lethal, right? They're at 16. Can we find a Wasteland or a Crop? 6, so 10, 13. We mill this. Oh, we're so close. Let's go. Put on top, put on top. We can copy the flagstones. So let's go mill 1, 7, 7, 8, 10. Oh, yeah, we can turn off the fetch. Sorry, I have something in my throat. Thank you, Punishing. I will get some water. Yeah, puts him to 1, which is pretty tough, like, with the Bowmaster. Wow, I'm losing my voice nearly. 1 sec. All right, we got there. Thank you, Sahar, as well. I'm going to quickly just get a refill. Let me know in the chat how you would sideboard. I'll make this as big as possible as well. Let me know your thoughts. Bring those up. Back in a sec. The awkward slide across. Okay. I like the Teeg. I assume they're going to be a verdict deck. Not a big fan on the swords. I do like the Thought Seizers. The Bog. Probably the Caracas isn't needed here. The Tower is interesting if they're playing Stoneforge. They are playing Saga, so potentially a force. I could see a crop coming out. Safekeeper's quite strong. Bajuka Bog probably. Maybe I want the Liberator more than the Force. Knights are still okay. Might just be 3. Actually, I'll go up on... No, let's go... There we go. Ooh, just got there. Just got there. This is a fine hand. Yeah. Hit my land drops, which is really nice. Double flagstones with Safekeeper is obviously quite strong. I'm going to play the Safekeeper next turn with the Flagstones open. And then Green Suns for Reclaimer after. Opponent brainstorms now. Nice. This is a heuristic that you might start seeing, which is pretty interesting. Safekeeper with double flagstones. Quite hard to deal with. Honestly, the best way to deal with it might just be to force it. We kind of get a free activation from the flagstones, which is really nice. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind Green Suns for Teeg here. Yeah. I don't mind Yav. Teeg turns off a few things. Supreme Verdict, also Prismatic Ending. Jace if they play it, the Wandering Emperor if they play it. Seeing there is Saga deck as well, I assume that they are not a back to basics deck, especially seeing the Okay, this is fine. I did not think that they were going to be Cephalid again. And this is fine. The T does stop Dread Return. No. We'll get black. Wow. Pretty lucky to have gotten Teeg because now they can't actually combo off. Wow. That's pretty huge. Oh my gosh. They can't even force this because Gaddock Teeg is out. So we want to play the Flagstones. Happy to go after Illusionist. They mill. Saga, Foundry, Flooded Strand. I don't mind just saving the sword and attacking the Teferi with Gaddock Teeg. Hey, Mistress. Yeah, so they use Nomads and Core to target infinitely, I guess, because it costs 0 mana. Cephalid Illusionist, which whenever it becomes a target of a spell or ability, mill 3 cards. You mill Dread Return and also some number of Narcomoebas, which then allows you to go off. I think just because of Stoneforge, I'm happy to hold the sword for now. Okay. Legacy is a weird format. It's a weird and wonderful format, though. Wow. Oh my gosh. This... Very nice comeback as well. Like, you know, lose to Cephalid, then come back against Cephalid. Nice. Yeah, wait till you see Flicker Wisp. Legacy power. Teeg was really nice there. Teeg easily saved us. This hand is pretty good. Obviously more against a creature deck, but even the Bowmaster against some blue control and combo decks is pretty solid. So happy to keep this. Mana's also very strong here. Windswept Heath. Okay. I think I'm happy just to hit this with Orcish now, because swords could potentially take out a larger creature. Okay, so let's go Flagstones, Mox. Probably just pitch the second Flagstones here. Or Wasteland, that's true. Hopefully the Wasteland can hit a Jewel or a Cradle if this is going to be Elves. Also getting a clock on the board is pretty relevant, which is really nice for us. Bayou? Okay. Okay. Green Suns. Come on. Christ. Christ is pretty sweet here. Yeah. Depths goes in the bin. We don't care about that, which is nice. There is a world where just like Cradle into Natural Order gets there, but we do have swords for the Atraxa if needed. But we are more than happy with this. What's going to happen now? Why wait for us to make the... Ah, because the Orc grows, so I guess you kill this one. Okay. Knight. It has to be... Oh, oh my gosh. So we start with a creature. There goes a Green Suns. I honestly don't mind just taking out the Arbor here. And then wastelanding the Bayou. The reason not to is in case we draw another wasteland, we then just... I guess we might have a target. I think this is fine going after their mana. There is definitely a case to take them off three cards or three creatures because of I think here I'm actually just happy to take it off. Okay. Crop. Crop would be really good. Knight's obviously very good as well. By taking them off the Bayou, they also don't have access to Snuff Out here, which is pretty relevant. Knight's a fantastic draw, yeah. It forces them to have a land this turn and also Snuff Out. Or else we have the combo down here. Obviously the Grist is taking over. And I think the card that really allowed us to win this game was Mox Diamond. I think Mox Diamond just turn 1 was just allowed us to accelerate on the draw into removal, which is really nice. Teeg here is obviously pretty good. Honestly, otherwise there's not too much. The Endurance can come out. The Thoughtseizes are like maybe, but honestly I'm pretty happy probably taking out the Caracas. I guess Caracas deals with Atraxa in a clean way. Bojuka Bog does have some game against just like keeping Fiend Artisans down. There's actually not a whole lot that I want. I think I'm happy just with the Teeg. And then Safekeeper to protect it. I don't think we want the trophy. Yeah, I think I'm in a case of like, I want to combo faster than them, and I want to have some sort of interaction. So this is pretty much it, because we got Yavimaya into Stage, into Crop Away Wasteland, which allows us to get Depths, which with the Yavimaya taps some mana, which allows us to combo off. So this is actually a pretty nice hand. I think Library's still worth it because we do have multiple ways to deal with Bowmasters, even with our own Bowmaster. And Library is a trigger that you also choose on resolution. So if the Library trigger goes in the stack and then our opponent flashes in Bowmaster, we can then just choose not to use Library if we don't want to. Bayou Pass. Huh. I really like... I think I like... Ooh. So if I don't... I guess I have... Over the next 3 turns, to get a turn 4 2020, I have to play the Yavimaya and the Cradle either on turn 1, 2, or 3. So I could play the Bayou here, and then go Bayou, Reclaimer, into Land, Bowmaster, remove something, into Stage, hold up Crop, which I think is a pretty fantastic play. There's a slight chance that our opponent might have Crop Rotation, and throwing a Wasteland into that is pretty dire. So for them not to have a 1-drop though is pretty huge. You don't often see that. Fiend is fine because Orcish actually kills this. So we're still on route here. To just combo next turn. It's also worth noting that Marit Lage, although indestructible, is also black, so Snuff Out does absolutely nothing against them, which is really good for us. Here we have Grist, which isn't too bad. They put a Cradle into the bin. I think our best draw here is probably... I was going to say Mox, because then we could play the Wasteland as well. But we have to play the Yav. Huh. Yeah. They have 2 cards. They now have 3 cards. Okay. Again, they're down. Wow, their turn is for once. That's fine. They tab out for Fiend Artisan here. We just have it, which is really nice. I don't believe they have any way to interact with Marit Lage here. And Newton and Ramar on their channel were saying that that fast depths decks were a bit of an issue for the deck. Hey Gizlo. Yeah, really cool to be invited onto Eternal Durdles with Mark Strassman to talk everything Savannah. We'll be recording that on Thursday morning or Wednesday evening for the US. So that should be really cool. Nice. Very cool to take that down. Decks felt really nice. I do like... One thing I didn't pick up on is that you obviously have a lower curve in this deck. With no Minsks at 4 mana and the Bowmasters at 2 mana, you actually have a lot more to do at 2 mana, because typically it's Green Suns for Reclaimer, potentially hold up Reclaimer's activation, maybe like, you know, Swords play a 1-drop, Swords Wasteland, 1-drop Wasteland. So having the Bowmaster as well is quite nice. But yeah, I think there we saw... is that too bright? Why is that happening? What's happened? Sorry, team, 1 sec. That's really weird. I've never got this before. Sometimes I do, but... really good hand again. Yes, opponent! I love this! Let's go! Let's go! Oh my gosh, that's pretty funny. Let us hope that they are not on some sort of like turbo deck. Oh, Preordain. Okay. To me, that means they're going to be on a pretty fast combo deck. Or at least like maybe a sneak and show. Especially if they say, let's go. What if I turn this on? Does that help a little bit? Or position this. Yeah. Ah, there we go. Look at that. It's kind of gone. Nice. Yes, Preordain could be controlled because of Council's Deliberation. Shout out to Phil, aka Force of Phil, aka co-host of Eternal Durdles, aka Miracles Master. And also to PVDH. Peter Vanderhoeven? Yeah, PVDH on their challenge win, I believe. With 2 top. Okay. We have a few things to do here. I think the best play is just turn 1 library and then go from there. We could hold up Bowmasters, but it's a little bit awkward if they go like fetch land pass. So I'd rather be a little bit proactive here. And obviously if they force the library, we still have a really good plan here. One thing to note is that if they force the library, then if we don't draw a land, we have a little bit of an issue in not being able to double spell with Bowmaster. If we kept the forest, we could go Reclaimer and also hold up Bowmaster. Oh. Alright, look, we're just putting in the Bowmaster, right? And hope it's Grizzle. Oh, it's a Traxxas. Okay. Well, we'll ping them. And then hope we can find a Caracas, potentially. They find a few things. But... How does lands match up against Mono Black Helm? Mono Black for Depths decks can be tough because of cards like Dolthy, Voidwalker, and Opposition Agent. Also having access to cards like Sudden Edict, or Sheoldred's Edict, depending what they play, are also really strong. Especially the versions with Dark Ritual. Can just make it a little bit awkward to know when to use Reclaimer, because if they have just a swamp open, it can be very hard to navigate that kind of play. You kind of need to have like a swords and go for it. So if they do have an agent, you have the swords at the ready. The tough part here is that if we find Caracas, we can't also Wasteland unless we have crop rotation as well. But at least the Atraxa is just a 7/7 Death Touch Flying Lifelink. So they chose Volk, Show and Tell, so no Preordain, Brainstorm, and Atraxa. Yeah, just. Bang. Okay. Look, we do want to dig here. 7, 14. So I'm probably happy to pay that. Play Reclaimer. Oh, we have the swords as well. I totally forgot about the swords. That's just stupid. I hope they actually force this, because they might think this is access to Caracas. But Caracas would do it, I guess. Because it would come down, we take 7, go to 9, it untaps, we take 7, go to 2, and then end step, get Caracas, untap, Caracas the Atraxa. They allow it. Oh. I guess they have show and tell into another Atraxa. So. Yeah, that... yeah. I guess we do have the Reclaimer though, so. We do just want to turn this Flagstones in upkeep with 2 mana into a land and probably Yav, but I could also see Stage. Yeah, it's probably actually just Stage. Unless they play the Atraxa, then we go and get Caracas. Because we know of Plains on the top. We will be missing Pyroblasts, but we do have Thoughtseizers, which is nice. Teeg is probably not great, but it does stop sneak attack lines. It also stops like shared summoning if they're playing that. Probably not. That's usually the blue-green version of Omni, but yeah, I think it does get worse without the red splash, of course, but we'll see what happens. Hey Sido, welcome. Here we are seeing our Show and Tell player try to count to 3 to cast Show and Tell. They currently have 2 floating, and obviously the difference between 2 and 3 is 1. So we'll see if they get to that in just a second. Oh, they got there. There we go. Oh, they put Emrakul into play. That's pretty good. What are they doing here? They played a Volk. Okay. They're going to ponder. Okay, we do get to shoot them. So upkeep, we do want to use the How good is it to see an extra card but have Reclaimer untapped? 2. We still want the Caracas. The case is, do we just search for something else to get a shuffle? Because library here only looks at 2 cards plus the planes that we know about, but if we use the Reclaimer here, we do get an extra one. I guess we could get another Flagstones, which is also relevant to sacrifice to Emrakul's attack. So I don't mind that. So let's go and get a Savannah, and then go and get another Flagstones. And then look at the top. Wasteland isn't it. Swords and Green Suns. Okay. We can't pay here. We could get Caracas, but it comes in tapped. I guess, yeah, maybe it is worth trying to find it. We are in upkeep, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we get to keep 3 cards. We probably keep the Bowmaster, the Elf. Yeah, I don't mind the decision to drop. I think we honestly just want to put this on top, put this on top. Green Suns for Reclaimer to get more things on board. And if they want to force this, that's fine, because it's one less force for potentially crop as we untap. Sacrificing Flagstones also gives us the land to crop away, which is nice. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we get to keep 4. So I think we keep Bowmaster, Reclaimer, Library, and Mox, and then we get a land back with the Flagstones as well. So let's just take a quick snip. So if we get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we get a Savannah off this. So we go back to a land, a Mox, have Library, have Reclaimer, have Bowmaster. I think that's probably the best thing to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go to 1. That's fine. How Bowmaster doesn't have reach? Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Okay. Oh, there's a crop. But now we need that sword. Because what they can do is brainstorm. I guess if they brainstorm, yeah, it doesn't kill that, unfortunately. So we can let this resolve, and now we can try to crop. But they have the force. Okay. Thoughtseize, Teeg, Trophy, probably some number of force. Endurance, I do like Grist. Safekeeper, Paducah Bog. Probably not all forces. I also don't mind Liberator. Is the other creature they have a flyer? What is it called? Yes. Uven Drifters. It's a 2/4 flyer. Okay, there we go, yeah. I still like Orc. Probably some number of swords. Probably a Sajiri step. 27 lands is fine. I do like Library. It's probably something closer to just this and not having the Force of Vigors. Yeah. I do like that we can Green Suns for Liberator. Sadly here mana is just an issue, so we'll mulligan this. Mana is not an issue here, we'll keep this and bottom the Dryad Arbor. A Braid, Sneak Attack, and these. We don't really care about the Abrade. I think I'd rather get rid of the Sneak here. The Abrade we could potentially turn off. One, two. kept a pretty interesting hand. Like, it really relies on them drawing into probably a soul land for the sneak. Pretty good, especially with the flagstones. Okay, I was gonna say, don't you do it. Happy to honestly pay for all of these. Maybe not. Probably don't need to pay for the grist just yet. We actually are kind of stuck on mana here, which is a little bit rough because of the flagstones and the plains. So we know their hand, so potentially we don't need the Thoughtseize this turn. And we can just... Oh, actually, we know about... Yeah, 4 cards. We're definitely taking the Wasteland. We're pretty much paying 10 life for the Thoughtseize and the Grist. Yeah. Yeah. And now I think sadly here we just have to hold up the crop in case they turn this into a creature which will most likely be legendary. Okay. So do they have Force Blue card? Nice. This is actually huge because now this creature goes back to their hand as well. And I believe it's 3 mana, so they can't even cast it. Oh, okay. That means we play Depths and then just see if we can combo off this turn. It is a flyer. But we do potentially have a way to get Grist into play with a creature. So let's go for stage. Copy Depths. Keep this version. Green Suns. Ooh, Trophy. Trophy doesn't do it. We don't have the mana. Awkward. That's actually hilarious. Maybe I should have got rid of the Caracas. That's really tough though. The double white hand has been pretty tough to kind of navigate, but we're still alive, which is good. I guess now we just hold up the Bowmaster, which they can abrade if they have Brainstorm. But it's a pretty tough spot for them. Oh, Bowmaster also gives us exactly 7 permanents. So even if they got an additional, like, a way to get Emrakul into play this turn, we could survive it. Please Brainstorm or Ponder. This also gives us the creatures to turn on Grist off the top, which is really nice. Imagine if they had like an Archon. That would be brutal. I guess it wouldn't actually matter, but because it doesn't have haste. I guess we just swords. Okay. Put on top. Put on top. We can... they actually can't have... They still have 2 Emrakuls, right? And a Braid. And 1 card. So Swords here just does it. Yeah. And that way we don't even show Thoughtseize, which is kind of nice. I guess we did open with it, but... nice not to. Seeing the sneak does make me kind of want the, like, some number of force. But I also want to be able to combo pretty quickly. Maybe... what can I drop? Maybe it's just Amox on the draw. I don't mind that. We have the Mox start, which is nice, with the Flagstones and also Reclaim a Crop. Yeah, pretty happy to keep this. Has a lot of different ways to punish them. Play Flagstones, cast Mox, pitch Dried, Upper Pass. Hey Hyena, welcome. Hope you're doing well. We are just going to fire this into play to get a bit of a threat going. Again, we do have 2 white sources and only 1 green, which is a little bit tough, but otherwise not too bad. I wonder if I actually should have just done this in upkeep, because then they have to put cards back before they draw, which puts them in a position where they might want to draw, or might have to draw a card they don't want to before they can fetch. I feel like here we're just going to untap and play Green Suns for Gaddock Teeg to turn off like a sneak. But it's tough. Only having that one green mana is a little bit tough. We do have Crop for Yavimaya potentially. Hope you're all doing well. It's always nice to play some Abzan on stream, especially for a new build. So a big congrats again to Horseman and to Dennis for working on the deck. Yeah, I think in that spot, upkeep just because then they could just brainstorm in our turn. But I guess, yeah, there's very similar things. Oh, another Mox. That's actually quite nice. Because that gives us double green now. Still pretty happy to go for Teeg. If we get one more turn making these things uncounterable is pretty sweet. And we do have Reclaimer to put in off a Show and Tell. And if they just Show and Tell in a Atraxa, we do have Crop for Krakus. Yikes. Yeah. Can't beat that. 2-2. Maybe the play was to hold up Crop. I thought it might have had an additional turn, but tough. I think I'm just so far behind that I would lose Mox land. I'd be able to keep one thing. And especially with a sneak down as well. That's pretty tough because even a Karakas, they just replay it. Hey, Spirit. Yeah, tough. Maybe like holding up the Crop was better, but yeah. Hopefully we can get a game on the draw. On the play, nice. Up against Alex West. No mana. Okay. A pretty good hand. Especially with a turn 1. I'm going to drop the Endurance because we do have just Mox, pitch the Forest, and then fetch to play the Library of a Savannah. Pedal in a Yorion deck. I didn't expect this. Oh, wow. Okay. Needle's fine. Probably either Wasteland or Night. Wasteland. But no backup. Flagstones is great. All of these are great, let's be honest. Probably happy just to get a second Reclaimer here. and see if we can go the value route of just getting flagstones and sacking flagstones. I haven't really missed Ramanap tonight, which has been pretty nice. Ooh. I didn't expect Khan. But at least now if we find a fetch land, we can just kill the Khan. Now we can't kill the Khan. We can put the Khan to 3. Oh, we can go and get Safekeeper with the Green Suns. That's the line. We can't Wasteland because of Pithing Needle, unfortunately, but we can get Safekeeper. That's pretty sweet. But there isn't really a way to hold up Swords to Plowshares. Yes, there is, because... no. Kind of. I think just because of the Needle, we get rid of the Wasteland. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, there's probably nothing too bad that I have to hold up the swords against. I didn't sack the flagstone to hold up swords, but I don't think it's too relevant because we can't use the Wasteland in game 1 anyway because we don't have a way to get rid of the Needle in game 1, I believe. Crop. Okay. Honestly, happy just to pay here. Attack and hold up 1. I could have potentially also just Green Sun for another one and attacked with all. We do have swords ourselves in case of something really bad. Okay. That's a little bit of an issue. I guess we have the swords for it, so it's not too bad. Underground Sea. Maybe this is like a Tezzerator build? Oh, they could have Orc as well. I guess Orc is a great reason. Put on top. Put on top. Yikes. We do have Grist to get rid of that. They have 2 cards left. Whew, 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 whew. Whew. Okay. That's fine. Nice. Fortunate. Fortunate for sure. The forces are great. The Oof and the Liberator. The Tower. Not really a world where I want the Endurance. The Safekeeper. The Caracas. The Bog. I don't mind going down on a Mox either. Hey Panda, too kind. I did bring the forces in game 3, just after we saw the sneak. Just because they're a little bit better than some cards in the main deck. One more. Maybe it's just an extra library. Trophy's interesting, but I think we have more than enough with the 3 forces as well. Pretty happy to mulligan it. Mana's just not really there. Again, mana's just not really there. Okay. Bottom 1 Mox. And then... Honestly, probably just the depths. 1, 2. If we draw a land, they are a 4 deck. I don't want to go all in on the combo, so I think it's just going to be this, and then try to get Collector Oop in play. Okay. Plains is actually quite nice. Pretty happy just to hold up the flagstones here. Probably just to end step cycle into another land and another flagstones. Or a wasteland. They get a Strix. Honestly, I don't mind just getting a fetch land. Also makes a reclaimer bigger. I don't want to go for the combo so early. Oof doesn't do a whole lot here. Kind of thinking about Liberator. Just because at worst it trades with something potentially. Their start hasn't really been a start that Oof just shuts down. Hmm. Okay. Pretty good. That is probably worth casting. Nice, Spirit. Knight giving me access to Caracas's Knight. I guess it also gives us access to combo, which is nice. Tower of the Magistrate, if we really want it. But Urza can take over pretty quickly. Another one, wow. Just to get a construct, potentially? That's fine. Probably Needle, naming Knight. But then we have Atlan Liberator. So this will be interesting. I guess they could also Khan into Lattice next turn, potentially. I'm not going to use Liberator because right now we have bounce the Urza, attack the Khan for 3. This is fine. Now we're in a tricky spot. Hey Shan, welcome. Hope you're well. I think the Yav is a better unknown card, but we don't have too many outs here because I believe my opponent's just going to go for Lattice, which we can't really interact with. Can make it 20/20, but they have the Strix. Hi, Star. I think you might need to put in the full... Oh, no, Grief is the full name. Maybe the price thing doesn't work for me. That's true. If Lattice is the only spell we can attack to kill it, that's cool. But they displayed the map. I guess they have the Saga to tap for mana as well. Rick, welcome. Helm? Ugh. Yikes. Yeah. Honestly, the orcs aren't great. I guess, oh, we took out the Krakus. We'll definitely keep the Krakus in. Bowmaster isn't that great. Maybe I'll keep the Moxen. I think just trying to stick with the combo and then have things like Force of Vigor as a little bit of spice on top is nice, but I really just want to be trying to combo as fast as it works. This is pretty good. I think library is fine. I think library is fine if you're ready for orcs, which you should be. So I think like having orcs to answer orcs or punishing fire or things like that. Library's been fantastic for us tonight, which is really nice. Leyline is fine. They go to 6. Okay. Yorion to hand. That's fine. Oh, they didn't cast a spell. Wow, that's huge for us. Honestly, in this spot, because I was gonna Green Suns for Oof. They are playing like a Khan, Urza, 8 cast, Yorion, a lot of different things. Honestly, I don't. I was going to get Flagstones and then crop Flagstones for Wasteland. But I don't know what land I want to drop, if any. Honestly, I don't mind just Green Suns for oof, but then I should have attacked with the Reclaimer. Yeah. I think I'm just being a bit of an oof myself. Okay. Khan is fine. I wonder what they get here. Bridge. That's okay. Ooh. So we get to kill the Khan and take out the map. Or take out the seat and take out the tomb with crop. Huh. I do want to try to build up these Reclaimers, so I'm going to get rid of the... Savannah here. Go and get Flagstones. And then use the green floating to get rid of the Flagstones to go and get Wasteland. This makes these 3/3s, which is nice. We have 9 power on board. Oh, we get to take out the seat with the Frenzied. Oh, no opponent. Oh my gosh. That's pretty funny. They use the map, that's fine. I guess they could get a tomb and go to 1. 3, 6, 9, 3, and then to 1. Okay. Oh, we have a sweet line. Oh, did we take up Bog? I was going to say we could Bog ourselves to then swing in for 1 with a Reclaimer next turn, but that's off. Hopefully we can do something else. We'll think of something. We took out the Endurance as well, so that's tough. But yeah, Arbor does get there, which is nice. Oh, but they still have 3 cards in hand. So they need something else to play. Has to be a 0-mana artifact. Oh my gosh. Alright. Well, we get the 3/2, which is pretty nice. Going down to Show and Tell and going down to Cephalid. We also get a little chest to open up. Bang. Ah, nice. Some cards. Decktech. Nice. Deck was sweet. In all honesty, are we looking at the full deck? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, the Bowmasters lined up really well. I didn't feel like too far gone, as in I didn't feel the Orcish Bowmasters led us away from the combo too much, which is nice. But yeah, all in all, I was pretty happy with the Abzan build. Obviously, a huge congratulations to the Third Horseman for winning the Legacy Challenge with the list. I really enjoyed it. Had a lot of game against pretty much everything, and Teeg was really happy, which is cool. I do have a pre-written sideboard plan on my Patreon, which I do want to update with the Orcish Bowmasters builds, and also the new versions of Punishing as well. Yeah, Sneak's always going to be a tough one for green-white X decks. So if you face it, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. It's kind of how it goes. But yeah, I actually really like this. It was kind of nice to play something that wasn't Depths and try a new color. So really happy with this. Unfortunately, my throat is gone, so I'm gonna send you guys somewhere else. But a big thank you to everyone who came in and watched. New followers, new subs. Obviously, if you want to find me on Twitter, you can find me here. On YouTube, you can find me here. Again, very cool to have Newton and Connor False coming on. Those dates again. The 29th and the 22nd. I love the slow load here as well, as if I'm yeah, really cool to have these two co-hosts coming up in July, before the Green Suns Summit in September, where we have 7 guests over the weekend for 7 different Legacy streams. And I will say, this year is pretty stacked. There's some big names in there, so I hope you all look forward to that. I will announce the people who are in it shortly, either through my Discord, which you can find here, and obviously on other social media platforms. But yeah, looking forward to these as well. We can definitely upload a dog pic as well. But yes, I always enjoy sending you guys over to, all of you, over to Gabe. Someone to send you there. But a huge thank you once again for coming in. Really cool to play this deck. A real pleasure. I'll be back going away this weekend, so I might be back on Sunday evening for a stream. We'll see how that goes, but a big thank you again. Farewell, Northern Angels. Always a pleasure to have you here, and I'll see you guys next time.